Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Dr. Nina Rios Doria. She is a high-performance coach, and she's going to teach us all how to have the mindset of an elite athlete. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I've never been an athlete. I guess I did a little cross country and track in high school, but I was an abysmal failure. So I admire those people who are athletes, but it's one thing to have a great body and have the physical capabilities to, sink that basket or sink that putt. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to have the mental game. And I think most people would agree that it's like 99% mental when you're playing at an elite level. Yeah. Somebody who knows that better than anyone in the room is Dr. Nina Rios Doria. Yes. She is a high-performance coach and counselor and my friend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. That was really good.
Thank you.
You've got
well, let's like take the game of golf, because everybody who's playing on the PGA Tour is within, 5 strokes of each other.
Right.
And everybody can have a good game and everybody can have a bad game. Mm-hmm. So much of it is mental.
It is really mental. It is. And I play some golf, so evidently you play golf. There's 3 things you can train. Your body, and I know everyone's into fitness and health the new year, and Peter Attia is out there talking about, the importance of weight training and being fit, which is great. Yeah. And then you can train your craft, whatever you're good at. Like, this is your studio, you study it, you work at it. People out there listening, whether you're an executive or you're an athlete, you're working on your craft and getting better at it. Yes. And then there's the mind. And I think that the best of the best will focus on all 3 of them. The elite athlete, the high executive, is not leaving any chance. They're focusing and training each one. Mm-hmm. And so for me, working with athletes and working with executives, it's how do I help them manage their emotion and work on training their mind.
Let's give some tips that anybody can use in their own life, regardless of whether they're an athlete. Mm-hmm. I think about so many pressure moments where the field goal kicker has to make this, or, they lose the game.
Yes.
And, everybody's shouting, but he has to be laser focused.
Right.
And tune out the crowd.
And here comes the Super Bowl, right? And all these other things coming up. And that's how do we all remain calm under pressure? Mm-hmm. Like, what do we do? And it starts with that awareness. You have to have awareness of, whoa, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. And how do I manage my feelings under pressure? And that's key, because when we can stay grounded and anchored, and we're anchored when we can regulate our emotions and focus on what's important in that moment. And so those are some things we need to focus on.
I love that. And when you look at an athlete like Tom Brady, I think about not only was he an amazing athlete, but after you start to win Super Bowls, every single game is somebody's Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They're going to try and beat Tom Brady. Yeah. So even a regular season game was their Super Bowl. How does a high performance athlete like a Tom Brady continue to play at the top of his game with all that pressure?
It's looking at how do we stay in the present moment? How do we look at that game as it's just another game? If I'm focusing on training my body and my craft and my mind, then I'm going to be able to show up at that game, at that meeting, or whatever I'm doing, and perform at my best. And I'm not going to have the anxiety and stress. I think there's a great acronym for managing our feelings and emotions that I think would be good for everyone to remember.
Please.
And it's called RULER. RULER, and it's created by Mark Brackett, who wrote the book Dealing with Feelings. And it starts off like E is learning to just be first, like you want to acknowledge, be expressive, know, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Recognize your emotions.
Yes.
What am I feeling in this moment? What is going on inside me that caused me a little stress or anxiety? And then you is understand the emotion. Get curious about it. What triggered these kind of feelings? L is label the feeling, because when you label your feeling, like whatever you're feeling, it actually calms down the body. And then E is express it. And then R is regulate it. How do I express what I'm feeling in this moment in a healthy way to the person that triggered my anxiety? And when you can do that, it's really good, and it allows you to be, going back to the Tom Brady analogy, it allows you to be present and focused and really work on managing what you're feeling in that moment. Yeah.
We're going to pull up her website, and as we scroll down the website, I know you do work with athletes and CEOs and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Tell us, there's different ways to engage you. I see that you do counseling and you do speaking.
Yeah.
So tell us how people can engage you.
They can go to my website and go drninacoach.com and connect with me, and I can talk to them more about the skills, the mental skills to stay, in the present moment, and how do you do that in sports and in life. Yes.
And you can go to our Facebook page because you have an event coming up.
I do.
Do you want to share that with us?
I do. It's the Mental Game of Sports. It's on February 26th. It's at 7 o'clock at White's Chapel in South Lake. And it's for parents and high schoolers that want to learn, how do I work on the mental game of sports? Because there's a lot involved besides emotions. There's motivation, there's confidence. How do we stay confident? And it has a lot to do with self-talk.
Yes.
And all these things I'm going to cover in that workshop.
I love it. We're going to pull up your YouTube page because you have a very popular podcast. Tell us about Vitality. Yes.
Vitality was created because what I'm noticing is, we're working on, getting healthy, physically fit, but how do we work on overall vitality?
Yes.
On physical and mental wellness? How do we stay in that place as we age? And it's intentional living. Like I'm sure, like as you do all the things, you have to be intentional about the things you do. And it's again knowing what's important to me today, who's important to me today, why am I doing the things I'm doing to stay motivated, to have a life of vitality. And I interview people that are doing those things.
Do me a favor, grab your journals because journaling is a big part of this. Why don't you hold up each one individually and talk about what the journal's about?
So I wrote this recently. The 5-minute mental health journal came out in the fall. And I wrote a lot about, it's a morning and evening journal. So you can write in the morning and in the evening, but it's a lot about how am I feeling? What's going on? Speaking of regulating emotions, because when we can do that, we can have a lot better conversations and be a psychologically safe place for somebody where we are calm and know what's going on with us. So it's a lot of self-awareness in this book. And the same one for Seasonal Athlete Journal. This has a lot with goal setting, mental health and mental performance, and rating yourself on how you're doing in those areas, noticing what's going on in your mind, things like that. It's really similar. And writing things down, journaling is really good to calm you down and work through thoughts in your head because we can spin a lot.
And I love you're a content factory. You're creating so much content. I went on your Facebook page. I found one of your recent video tips. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Okay, anger. We all feel it. It gets escalated. What do we do? Okay, this is what you can do. This is all based on science and research. Number 1, practice mindfulness. Get in the present moment and start noticing what's going on in your body. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? All those things. That's going to be helpful for you. Number 2, take a deep breath. That'll help kind of reset you so you can think rationally. Number 3, name it. I am noticing I am feeling really angry right now. And science has found that calms down that amygdala so you can think more rationally and logically. And finally, go for a walk, take a sip of water, and that will continually calm you down so that you can revisit that conversation and get curious about it. Ask yourself questions. Would I be this upset tomorrow? What is going on that's triggering my anger? All that will help you. So start noticing when you get angry and escalated, do those 4 things. Mindfulness, take a deep breath, maybe a few, and label it. Label the feeling, and then go for a walk. Just take a sip of water and revisit that conversation. All that's going to help you. Good luck.
Wow, I could listen to you all day.
Really?
Let's talk about negative self-talk because you could have a friend say something catty to you, but nobody hurts us more than we do.
Right.
So when you look in the mirror and you see a blemish or you gained a couple of pounds and you start this kind of negative self-talk. What's the secret to breaking that cycle?
It's noticing. It's funny when you talk about the mirror. I see my daughter sometimes and she'll say something, or I'm working with some teens where they're looking in the mirror. I'm like, you cannot leave the mirror without saying something positive. And really it's like noticing when you're talking negative to yourself, because that plays a huge role. And with the athletes or anybody, it's like, what am I telling myself in this moment? Hey, that person looked at me over there. What does that mean? The story I'm telling myself is what? What is true?
I love that.
And just noticing, like, what is true, factual? Because there's a lot of thoughts that we have in our head. And I'll say this with working with people is, was that a helpful thought or an unhelpful thought? What do I want to hold on to that's going to help me feel better? But it takes a lot of work. I was working with an athlete. He was a basketball player, is a D1 athlete. And I was talking about self-talk. And the next week I was working with him and he said, that self-talk isn't working. Like, I'm not doing well. I'm like, because he's been playing basketball. He's like in his senior year and he just now is working on his self-talk. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes work, training the mind. It's constant. You're noticing this is a negative thought. Is it rational? Is it real? Is it true? And focusing on that positive talk. And it's work.
I like that. I mean, I think training yourself to, don't leave the mirror until you say one positive thing about yourself. I think that's really, really powerful. So Dr. Nina, we're almost out of time. Final thoughts, if somebody's watching this saying, I think I found my coach, what does the engagement look like? Do they contact you through the website? And
they can contact me or email me at drninacoach@gmail.com, or contact me through the website, and I'm happy to work with. I work with all levels of athletes and people, and a lot of executives and leaders that are just needing a place to vent and process what is going on.
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. We're going to have you back on soon. We're going to end with the website again, drninacoach.com. The great Dr. Nina. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.